Hey YouTube, so bright sunny day outside. We're gonna start Minecraft boat in real life. First things first, gotta measure the inside of the bed that the boat's going to sit in. So this is kind of gonna be our size constraint. So it's not gonna be perfect one-to-one scale, but still about the same shape. Alright, so the bed inside is 45 inches in width and 64 in length. That's actually pretty close to being a square. Part of the challenge about this is I'm not going to be using plywood. That'd be super easy if we did for the floor of it, but the problem with that is plywood, most of it isn't waterproof, and I really don't feel like having to seal any more than necessary. So we're actually going to try to make this out of planks, very similar to the way it's built in-game. So ideally, we could get away with using 2x4s. The problem with that is that's kind of on the thicker side, so I know that would at least support my weight, but I'm trying to not make this thing ungodly heavy. Okay, so on a side note, I haven't looked into the whole buoyancy stats, and I'm not really going to calculate that for the video, so this is going to be interesting. It might end up sinking, but we'll just wing it. These are looking nice, whatever these are. That's super wide. Wow. It's really thick, though. Shoot. So here we have to do just a little bit of math, which is easy, but it's important if I don't want to go over budget or buy too much wood, because some of these wider planks I found are actually on the expensive side. So here we have just really simple. It's 3 foot if we just go by foot. This is the measurement inside of the bed of the truck here, and then the actual measurement in inches 45, 64. And then this here is what the planks we're probably gonna need. So that would be a 6 foot plank at the minimum, because we're gonna have to trim it a bit, and a 4 foot. We couldn't go with a 5 foot or a 3 foot here, because that would actually be shorter than these two. So since those boards come in different sizes, we're just gonna go with the entire area of the thing. So 2800 for the entire thing, and all we need to do is measure the boards the same way. Just get the length and height, multiply that, and just add them up and see. Just a quick way which ones get to that number fastest with the fewest. These are perfect. So 1 inch thick, still plank, still plenty strong to support my weight. That's a little short, but this is perfect. It's exactly the size plank we want. We just need to find them the right length and hopefully a cheaper selection. I'm going with these. What the top choice whitewood boards are. So these are the 8-inch wide ones. I'm going with 5 of those for the floor. That turned out to be the ones that require the least amount of work. And these would have been the next cheapest one. The problem is that I'd have to make a floorboard out of those and somehow put them all together, so that would have been problematic. The other problem is I could have gone with these larger ones that I'm using for these for the floorboard, but if I did that, then there would be a 7-inch margin of error that I'd have to add another smaller board or saw one of them vertically to fill that margin of error. So what I'm doing now to make the sides, so I don't have to stack a ton of boards this way and seal all of them, I'm going to want to get the tallest board that I can possibly get. So that's going to be the 12-inch one. So what we did here, this is going to be the sides. Got two 12-inch boards on each side, and then as far as width goes, and then these are 8 feet. We're going to saw those down on the ends and make them fit in the bed. And then same deal with these. I got the 4-foot boards that are also 12-inch tall, and that'll be at least the start of the sides. And then I'm going to get another 4-inch board to put on top, and that's just going to kind of add like that aesthetic lip to it, give me some more clearance in the water, and fit the top inside of the truck bed so we can get as much air volume out of this as possible. Let me just kind of do like a sit in it kind of thing. It's gonna be kind of big. Okay, so I got all the floor pieces cut to length, and I just measured one of them to 60 inches, cut it with the chop saw, and the rest of them I'm just doing a reference cut off of it to save time, and it's actually fairly dang accurate. So I just lined up the edges 2 planks, this one being the first one that I measure at 60 inches. I just take a little straight edge, score it here, and then I know exactly where to chop with the saw to get exactly the same length on the lower board. Okay, so it's going well. We have the basic shape down. This is going to be the most important part of the structure. So, let me just get that lined up there. That's more or less what we're working with. So I bought some more of these planks. These ones are only 4 foot, but same thickness, and I'm going to span them across here just to give these boards some extra rigidity. So what I've done here is just done a quick measurement of the part of the screw that doesn't have the threads on it, and then I'm going to match that with a drill bit as close as possible. It looks like a 1/8 inch drill bit's going to do the job for that. I'm not Oh me, oh my, it's coming together. Woohoo! Okay, so what have I done here after we buzzed off the backside of this? I just arranged the outside planks as if I were going to put them together, and then just drilled a hole on the top side, and then sunk a screw, went to the other side, did the exact same thing, and right now, so this isn't attached to the bottom piece, but it's at least got the frame down, so I don't need to fiddle with that. Everything is nice and structured and sound. For this next step, I bought an actual 2x4. This one's an 8-foot one. I'm gonna do it lengthwise to sideways like this. I just think since the boat's more lengthwise this way, it would be more aesthetically pleasing. I don't think there's any realistic difference, but what I've done is just set it in here where I want to place each section, and then I put the next piece, because we want this boat to be a little bit higher to fit in the bed of the truck as much as possible and to give it more of that Minecraft aesthetic. So what I've done here, just measured, or not measured, I've just set it in here flush like this, put the 2x4 up against the edge like this, and I'm just gonna mark it with that straight edge again, and then that will give me a reference line to cut so that I can get perfectly level with the top of that without having to do any kind of measuring. So after I've got one of them cut, I take this one back, make sure it's the height I want it. This one is. And so after that, I'm just going to reference it again. I would be using 2 hands to keep this stable. This is just for demonstration purposes. Same deal though. Just kind of score it. It's not going to show up, but the line's somewhere right here. Score it again, and then I'll show you this next step. So this is just a rough cut. You can still see we have our scoring mark on here, so we still need to cut to the right height that we want it. But I just want to make this easier. Instead of trying to wave around and hold a 8-foot board in here, this is a lot more manageable. So now, the trick to getting these so accurate, push it flat like that, and then I'm just going to lower it until I can actually touch it, the saw blade, the edge of that saw blade right on the edge of that line. You see exactly what I'm talking about here? That saw is going to delete some portion of it, so you have to make sure that whatever portion is getting deleted is above your reference mark. Here's all 4 of those again. All 3 of them referenced off that first one. Look at that. I think that's accurate enough. I mean, measuring is the right way to do it, but for as fast as we did that and as close together as these are in height for something this big and rugged. I don't think that's really necessary. It looks an awful lot like so that silicone you would use to like repair an aquarium or something. I did that once. Getting dark. All right, so we have our supports in here that are gonna hold the side pieces on. Gives us a little more height, as we stated. Flex seal, can't tell on the camera because it's dark. Down there, getting smushed, drying, sitting up against that edge right there. And then drilled 2 holes, so keep this in place. All is well. Okay, so I've added the extra layer sideboards here. This just gives it that lip on it for the Minecraft aesthetic. It might double as a carry handle, but I'm not sure I really want to put too much stress on that. These are just secured in here just by themselves. You can see kind of what I've done here. I just kind of overlap that a little just to kind of mix it up a little bit. So ran out of Flex Seal about halfway through putting the floor on there, so I went back and got big $90 can of it, but we won't run out this time. Well, the inside is sealed, and even that thin little coat put this nice rubber texture on everything. It's actually really impressive stuff. Yeah, everything's pretty good. Put a little much, but that's okay. Second to last step. Oh, 2-part second to last step. We need to take all this excess off, seal the top down, wait, and then put a waterproof coating on the rest of the wood. Okay, so now I have sealed every excess edge possible. The floor is done drying. Man, it feels nice. It's just like absolutely solid rubber. As for extra insurance, just gone and filled in every possible crevice on this thing with more Flex Seal, except this is the Flex Glue. Kind of hard to tell now, but it is the Flex Glue. It's the only one that came in the caulk tube, except I didn't cut the tip wide enough initially, so it blew out the back, hence the god-awful mess on the thing. Delayed effects from long-term exposure contain solvents which can cause permanent brain and nervous system damage. Yeah, that sounds quite evil. I don't think we're going to be getting this on our hands anytime soon. That sounds really bad. Like, legit sounds really bad. Yeah, that smells like that spray you use to kill wasps. Which, by the way, is a neurotoxin. So, yeah, we're not taking any chances. We're just going to create some artificial wind here and try to hold my breath as best as possible and do this really fast. Just look at that stuff. It's thick, red, cherry, syrupy, maroon red death. Just using a little antique stroller from Family Friend. I just modified it a little bit and kind of shaved the handle off here and there and just made it so that it's nice and flat and won't hopefully scratch up the boat. Oh, that sucks so bad, dang it. Boom bam, check that out. It's even got space for a gas can. That's so awesome. It fits. Wow, look, it's just a truck. Oh, wait a minute. There's an entire boat in here. Wow. Right, so we have mooring line, rope. Rope attached to GoPro that is nailed to the side of the boat. So that's going to be our way to get this thing back if it starts to take on water, or if it completely sinks, we have at least something attached to it. An oar, mini fishing rods, stand. Let's get this thing over there. That thing works swell. So far so good. To my knowledge, it's floating. It's just raining like crazy now, unfortunately. That is so cool. It's working. See, that's taking on water a little bit. It's not a lot, but that's enough. We want to go back and seal it. So it all adds up eventually. Yeah, that's getting really close. That's right above my head now. Okay, time to go. All right, back. That is crazy. Look at that. We're actually on the dang water. The wind's just carrying us like crazy now. Wow, it actually worked. That's so satisfying. You need 2 paddles like in Minecraft. This is kind of hard. This is a big one. Oh, that's a decent one. I don't think I've caught one this big before, so I'll count it. Not a very big one, but he sure fought hard. Holy smokes. Well, there you go. We got a fish from the little Minecraft boat with a little tiny micro rod. This one's good. Whoa, he jumped. I wish you... Ooh. Wish you guys could see that on my end. Jumped, he's probably a bass. I'm just gonna kind of make that quick assumption. Let's do this. Uh-oh, did you just get hang on my other line, buddy? Something hit the boat. Oh yeah. He almost darn near jumped in the boat. Yeah, little itty bass. Come on back. Get that. Get that. Oh, yeah. Touch. Heck yeah. Look at that little tiny bass on a little tiny hook on a little tiny boat. Well, all things considered, this has been a huge success. Probably going to put a little sunshade or something on top of this now, but obviously patch up the holes. But I can't believe this is actually working. I'm floating in the middle of the dang lake on a Minecraft boat. I need 2 paddles though, because one's not going to cut it, and it's kind of appropriate that in-game you're doing the 2 paddle thing. That seems to work a lot better than 1. At least to just get that momentum going. But this is nice.